Now, sports with Garrett Brown.
Welcome back. It feels like we just barely got done with Western Slope High School winter sports, and just like that, the spring sports are here and in a big way, with several teams getting the 2024 season started. Let's start things off with baseball, since it is almost springtime. And like every year, the Bill Fanning Baseball Classic is here to kick off high school baseball in the Grand Valley. Let's start off out at Simplesio Field, where last year's Western Slope League champs, the Palisade Bulldogs, they look to get their title defense campaign started with a victory. Bulldogs breaking in the new outfield walls at Simplesio Field, taking on the Prairie View Thunderhawks. Will join this one after the Bulldogs jumped out to an early 6-2 lead, but Prairie View found themselves creeping back into this one, and they had one runner in this inning and threatening for more, but the Palisade righty Easton Embry is going to get himself out of the jam here with a fly out to right, and Palisade holds on to their lead. A lot of good hits would wind up getting contained on an overcasty day out at Simplesio. Hunter Howard up for Palisade, fighting through those shadows there. It gets a pretty good ride out to deep left field, but it didn't just quite have the distance, wind up being tracked down just short of the warning track for the flyout. It looked like Prairie View's pitcher Tony DiRenzo was going to halt the Bulldog attack yet again with a punch out following the flyout for 2 outs. But then the Bulldogs, they got a little 2-out lightning. First, the sophomore, Will Serrani, stares down ball 4 on a full count to draw a walk. Then another Bulldog sophomore is going to come up, 0-0 Cayenne Kinslow, who's going to beat out a ground ball here and reach first safely, actually, and the Bulldogs find themselves once again threatening with runners on. That would then bring up Asher Morby to the plate. He's going to wind up dropping one into shallow center. Palisades runner comes in to score, and they get up to 7 on the board, and they go on to put up a lot more before this one's all said and done. The Bulldogs pick up right where they left off last season, winning at a final of 17-6. They're going to be back in action against Ponderosa later today. Speaking of Ponderosa, yesterday they wrapped up a win against Fruita Monument. After falling behind 4-10, the Fruita Monument Wildcats seemed like they had a shot at battling back in the 7th, but the rally wound up being cut short, losing at a final of 7-10. Then 2 matchups from earlier yesterday. Grand Junction picks up the win over Palmer Ridge after a slow start for the bats by both teams. The Tigers got hot in the 4th and 5th innings, putting up 4 runs in each and go on to win 9-4 thanks to some great Tiger pitching performances. Central, meanwhile, didn't have the same luck. They also look like they could potentially swing a late comeback, putting up 5 after trailing Rampart 11-3 in the 7th, but ultimately couldn't catch up and lose 11-8. The Montrose Redhawks also got their season started yesterday, and a pretty good start at that, taking down the Severn Silver Knights 12-7. Also yesterday, the Grand Valley Cardinals girls basketball team's undefeated season, well, it comes to a close in the Grade 8. Losing narrowly to the 6th-seeded St. Mary's Pirates. After a sluggish first half, the Cardinals outscored the Pirates by 5 in the second, but it wasn't enough to catch them, and the Cardinals' playoff run comes to an end. It wasn't just high school baseball getting started yesterday either. Girls soccer is also back, and we got an early Grand Valley clash that pit the Palisade Bulldogs against the Grand Junction Tigers. It'd be a scoreless first half out at Community Hospital Unity Field. Second half looked like it had a lot more of the same in store. The Palisade keeper, Brene Snover, on the corner kick here, taking matters into her own hands. And that Bulldog defense actually did a pretty good job of holding off the Tiger attack at the start of the second half. Another corner kick, and they're going to force a bad shot attempt here after the Tigers work the ball around. That's going to sail just wide to the left. Something eventually had to give in this 0-0 tie, and it actually, despite the Tigers dominating time of possession, be the Bulldogs. Taylor Balding is going to get the feed, turns it around, gets it to Ryan Pomeroy, who launches a perfect pass to none other than the American University commit, Mia De Villegas-Decker, who's right there to bring it on home. Palisade with the first goal of the game and the season. Now proved to be critical as the Bulldogs shut out Junction, winning on the lone goal of the game at a final of 1-0. Central Warriors Soccer and Rifle Bears also got their season started today. This one was all Warriors, with Central putting up a 5-piece and winning 5-1.